Hi guys, welcome back to episode DB Cars, and today's episode I'll be showing you guys GetGo Honda WRV. So let's dive straight to this video right now. Alright then, so here is guys the Honda WRV from GetGo itself. So I'll be showing you guys the exterior of the vehicle itself before I show you guys the trunk space as well as the interior. So let me just start off with the exterior of the vehicle itself, starting from the driver's side. So driver's side, unfortunately there isn't any obvious damage to it itself, which is quite good because the vehicle is still quite new. But let's move on to the rear itself, where unfortunately it has one small damage itself. So the only damage for the rear is this dent right here itself, which unfortunately it struck onto something maybe while reversing. So that's a very unfortunate sign because it's still less than 10,000 kilometers at the time of filming. So it's very pity that the vehicle is already damaged itself. But other than that small dent right there, there isn't any other obvious damage which I can observe at the point of filming this video itself. But let's move on to the left hand side of the vehicle itself, which is the passenger side right now. So passenger side, there isn't any other obvious damage which I can notice, which is a good thing for this vehicle itself, other than maybe the side skirt being dirty, and same goes for the driver's side also being dirty itself. But overall, the condition of the vehicle is still not too bad, I would say itself. Lastly, let's move to the front of the vehicle right now. So the front of the vehicle itself, unfortunately there isn't any obvious damage to the vehicle itself for the time being, and also same thing, no windscreen chip, which is a great thing for this vehicle itself. Alright, before I show you guys the trunk of the vehicle itself, let me just give you guys a brief introduction to the WRV itself. So basically this is the second generation Honda WRV from Honda itself. And if you look from the side profile wise, when you first collect the car itself, you might think this is a Toyota. The dimension wise, if you look very hard, in my opinion, it looked very similar to the Toyota Yaris crossover or Toyota Yaris Active crossover, whatever it's called. It looked very similar itself. I don't know, maybe if the wheelbase is the same or they share the same platform, but it looked very similar itself. Another thing to take note is this is the Japanese import. This is the Japanese market version of the WRV. If you guys search on Google or elsewhere online, there is another alternative variant of the WRV, or how it looks from the front, and I think maybe the front is a slightly different look itself. So basically, the other market that sells the WRV, it has a different look itself, which is something itself. But for me, in my opinion, this WRV itself, if you look very closely itself, it might look like, in my opinion, it looked like a mini Honda Vezel itself, which is, or aka the HRV itself. So yeah, the area that I feel looks very similar to a mini Honda Vezel is, if you look from the rear itself, the tail light or the brake light, whatever you call it, looks very similar, or look like it might have taken some inspiration from there itself, and Honda decided to put it on their even smaller variant of the SUV itself, the WRV in general. The WRV in this case. So yeah, that's one thing. In my opinion, it looks very similar to the HRV, which is the slightly bigger variant of the WRV itself. So yeah, unfortunately I can't really show you guys the front that much, but let me just see what I could do itself. So basically, if you look the front, how the headlight housing and the front bumper looks, in my opinion, it looks very similar to a HRV itself. I'm not too sure whether you guys can agree on that, but in my opinion, it looks very similar to a Honda Vezel or HRV itself. Okay, enough of that yabbing. Let me just show you guys the trunk, the WRV right now. So to access the trunk for the vehicle itself, just locate the button down right below the Honda emblem. Press on that and just lift it up. Mostly you don't really hear an unlatching sound like some vehicles. When you press on the button, there will be an unlatching sound. There isn't any sound, which is a little bit weird, but upon opening the trunk, this is what you are being greeted with. I'll probably put on screen right now how much trunk space this vehicle comes with. So this is how much it comes with the seat up. If you want to have even more space, you could actually fold down the rear seat via pulling on this thing right here on either side of the vehicle itself. Just pull on that and the seat will drop down. Same goes for the outside. But one thing, as you guys noticed already, is you got to have something. It's not like some vehicles where you're able to lift up the shelving and you can make a very smooth floor and you're able to load stuff through into the cabin itself. Unfortunately for the WRV is not the case, because when the seat is folded down, this is basically what you're greeted with. You got to put something at the bottom first, then you can have a smooth flooring itself. But once you're done, you could actually just lift the seat back up, mind the seat belt, and the seat is officially locked in place itself. So yeah, all right. Close the trunk, then just grab on this part right here or any part of the trunk if you want to, and just close it down itself. Fortunately, this is not an electronic tailgate, so sorry, it's not an electronic trunk where one press of the button and it will just open up. This is not the case, because this vehicle does not come with it. Neither does the second generation Honda WRV come with it. Does come with that either, because yeah, this doesn't come with it, neither does the bezel itself. So yeah, let me just show you guys the rear of the WRV right now. Alright, then now let's step right into the rear of the vehicle itself, and basically this is what you're being greeted with itself. I would say it's quite spacious for this kind of vehicle itself. If I were to compare to the Yaris crossover, which is look very similar wise, it doesn't feel like this at all, because I think the Yaris crossover, it feels more compact and it's more of a size of the Toyota Vios, which I just reviewed. So it's more of that feeling when you sit in the rear of the Yaris crossover. It has that feeling where you don't really have much space in the rear itself, unlike the WRV where I have tons of leg room, and headroom is also not too bad, which is quite good for this SUV in this class itself. But this is just adjusted according to the previous front passenger. That is my drawing sitting position wise adjusted. But overall, I still got tons of leg room, which I already mentioned itself. But later I'll show you guys how does it feel like to sit in the center of the vehicle itself. But upon first inspection wise, you got some storage space right here if you want to put your stuff behind the front passenger. No, behind this seat right here. Unfortunately, the driver's side doesn't come with any seat pocket, so if you want to put your stuff, then you got to throw it right here in the door bin where you got your cup holders, your slot for 2 cup holders or 2 drinks if you want to itself. If not, you can throw some stuff right here or maybe it's inside here as well. But moving along, you do get grab handles on both sides as well as the front, which is a good thing for this vehicle as well. Oh yeah, and the storage option is also the same for this side, which you come with door raise handle, window switches, some place to put your stuff if you want to. Same goes for the bottom as well. Oh yeah, last but not least, you also got center lighting right here, which can be turned on or turned off manually right here, or leaving the center for the doors to be turned on. When the doors are open, the light will turn on itself. So yeah. Alright, before I move to the front, you got air vents right here if you want to, and you can, unfortunately, you only can put it up or down. Oh, and you also can swivel to side if you want to be blowing at you specifically itself. So yeah, that's quite good. And you got slats right here to open and close the vent itself, and right down at the bottom, a 12-volt socket outlet right there if you want to charge your mobile devices itself. So yeah, and that's about it for the vehicle itself. Let me see how I feel like to sit in the center. Okay, sitting in the center right now, and this is what it feels like. So basically, the front seat has been adjusted to, one is being adjusted to my driving position, another has been adjusted to the previous person sitting at the front. And headroom right is not too bad. I got about, I would say about 1.5 space of headroom space, which is not too bad for the vehicle itself. Legroom space wise, I don't even have to say, because there is tons of legroom in the rear itself. If I want to, I could technically also stretch out or maybe slouch a little bit, and it won't be an issue itself. But one thing you gotta take note is, once you're sitting in center for the WRV, is you do notice that you are sitting in the center, because there's a divider right here, and yeah, there's a divider in the center right here, and you clearly know that this is meant for the 5th person in the vehicle itself, unlike sitting on the left or the right hand side itself. Also, I forgot to point out just nice. If this would carry 3 full-grown size adults in the rear, I would say it won't be any issue because it's quite spacious and I'm able to. I think 3 full-grown size adults will be able to survive on a long road trip itself. So yeah, and that let me just show you the front right now. So the front looks just like this. It's quite simple and clean layout, I would say. But yeah, let me just move to the front. I'll show you guys more on that right now. So getting out also is not a big issue because the opening space is quite big, so you're able to step out without any problem at all itself. And technically, this also could be said for the Vesta itself, which is also it's technically slightly bigger than the WRV. So yeah. Oh yeah, and if you're wondering where the fuel door is, it's on the left hand side right here itself. So fortunately, there's a latch you have to pull on the driver's side to open up the fuel door itself. So yeah. Alright, then now let me show you guys the front of the WRV. So stepping right into the vehicle itself, this is basically what you're being greeted with. You got a very nice piano black finish on the front. But speaking of storage space, what you get? Well, you get one storage space right down at the bottom if you want to put your stuff in. There's another storage space right here for your drinks if you want to your drinks. And there's also another space right here to put your wallet if you want to. Moving along, there's also another space right here, but do note that when the handbrake is down, it might hit your stuff right here. Whatever stuff you're putting right here, it might hit into it. Alternatively, you could put it right here in the narrow part right here, maybe a phone or some narrow things. So yeah, moving along, you got an armrest right here or another alternative space for more storage itself. So yeah, unfortunately the storage space, it doesn't really have any port to plug into. The only port you got is right out here, which is a 12 volt socket outlet right there, a type A port right there, and a type A port right there as well. So yeah, moving along, you got your door beams or door cards, whatever you call it. You can put some stuff right side right there for the driver, and same goes for the passenger side as well. So yeah, all right, let me just show you guys the gear selector right now. So gear selector, you got your typical park, reverse, neutral, drive, and you got sports mode right at the bottom. So sports mode just go all the way down. Then technically, if you want to, you could also use the pedal shifter that comes with it, so you're able to shift up or shift down the gear manually itself, which is quite cool for a small SUV itself. Alright, let's move to the next one, which is the AC vents. So the AC vents is quite simple. You got all your AC controls right here. You got your temperature control is right here on the driver's side, and you got the fan speed control on the passenger side as well. In the center is just your hazard light button, which when you press, it will just show on the screen itself. So that's very simple. And you got your AC vents right here itself. If you're wondering how to close the vent, just slide it to the left for the left hand side and to the right for the right hand side itself. So yeah, that's basically that. Moving along, you got infotainment right here itself. Infotainment wise, it is, I would say it's a semi aftermarket one because it I can't be sure whether this has Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, but I got to figure out later on. But if you want to, I think technically you could plug it in using the cables right here, which already come included itself, which is located in the glove box itself. But I will just maybe briefly touch on that later on itself. So yeah. Alright, moving to the wheel, you got your horn in the center. You got your volume control buttons right here, as well as the frequency tuner right here for the entertainment. You got your pickup anchor and your voice command for the entertainment also. Then your home button, your back button, and your scrolling wheel thing right here is to adjust this digital, semi-digital screen right here, which I'll show you guys more on it later on. On the right hand side, you got your various cruise control function, which is very simple to use. So basically, to activate cruise control, just press on this first. Then you can set your speed by pressing this. Then just increase the speed up or down via this button itself. To cancel the cruise control, just press cancel and it will just cancel that. Then let's say you're in cruise control right now and you want it to follow the car in front according to distance. You could actually press on this button right here will just be your lane keeping assist, as the steering wheel will just steer accordingly following the lane marking itself. So yeah. Alright, last but not least, on left hand side you got your stalks right here for your front wipers. So front wiper just go all the way down or all the way up, and one time up for one strap the front wipers. To wash the windscreen for the front, just pull back and wash the front windscreen. For the rear, it's just this outer knot right here, so twist it away from you to turn on the rear wipers, and twist it away from you to turn off the rear wiper itself. On the other side is your indicators, which is right here. So the indicator is just very simple, just down or up for left or right. High beam, just need to activate high beam, just push forward. Deactivate high beam the other way around, and to flash your high beam, just pull back and you flash your high beam itself. And this outer knob right here is for the main light switch, so twist it away, twist it down to turn on the main light, then turn off to turn off the headlight itself, and you got this, twist it away from you to turn on the main headlight itself. So yeah, sorry, just now twist down to turn on the main beam and turn off the main beam, then twist up to turn on the main headlight itself. So basically that's that. Last but not least, just got your traction control button right here and the headlight dimming switch right here itself. So that's that. The fuel door switch is right down at the bottom, which is right here. Just pull on that and you're able to access the fuel door. Sorry, pull on that to access the fuel door, and pull on the lower one to access the front engine compartment itself. So basically that's that. And if you're wondering where the OBD port for your touch card is right there itself. At least it's a good spot, not too close like this area here, or yeah, it's not, in my opinion, this is not a bad position to put at least it's not here where sometimes you have to reach over to that side itself. But other than that, last but not least, you got your 4 window switches right here. This may people from rolling down the windows. You got your locking and unlocking function for the car doors. This to adjust the mirrors on the left or right hand side, and you got your folding mirrors button right here, and this to adjust the mirror right here. Let's say you set it to the right hand side, and you're able to adjust with this D-pad looking thingy itself. So yeah. Alright, let me just turn on the car and show you more info about it right now. So the start button is at the same position for like for the Honda Fit, Honda Step Wagon, as well as some of the other newer Honda products itself. So yeah, so just press on that. The vehicle turn on. Yeah, give it a few moments, it'll prime up. So once now the vehicle is turned on, this is how it looks like. So let me just touch on this point right here, which I mentioned earlier on itself. So basically this is the same layout as the Honda Step. The dish is the same as the Honda Step Wagon and the what's the other Honda shit that has this? Yeah, it basically is the same layout. The newer Honda has this new instrument layout itself, which is quite nice in my opinion. Unfortunately, the newer Honda Fit doesn't come with this, if I'm not wrong. It has just one screen itself and the speedo itself. But you're able to adjust the brightness on the left via adjusting the brightness on the button right here, left or right hand side, to increase the brightness itself. So yeah. Alright, now let me just touch on this, which I really want to talk about it. So if you want to adjust whatever that's shown here, and just press home, then press home again. Then you use this wheel thingy right here. You're able to swivel down or up on whatever thing you want to know about it itself. For time being, for me, I set it as this, which is this is just to show your rev gauge. This one is basically to see your average fuel consumption as well as your trip A and trip B function. So now it's set to trip A. If I go down, you'll see trip B itself and the average fuel consumption, the last percentage itself. So yeah, that's that. Last but not least, before I end off my video, is you got your sun visor on both sides with the mirror, which comes included. Unfortunately, there's no light to it itself. If you want light, you have to press on this individually itself. Same goes for the other side. So yeah, also this sun visor could also be swiveled to the right hand side to block the sun coming in from this direction or the other direction for the passenger side, which is just like that itself. And so it does come with the mirror itself. So yeah, And in the event of an emergency, you can actually technically just press the SOS button right here and you'll contact whatever necessary support you need for you itself. So yeah. And if you're wondering how to adjust the steering wheel for the vehicle itself, there's this lever right at the far end right here. Just pull on this and you're able to adjust the height. Then you're also able to adjust the forward and back nut, how away you want the steering wheel to be. Once done, you can just press it in and lock it in place. For the seat is how back is this lever right down at the bottom. The height of the seat is right here, up for higher, down for lower itself. Then you also got this thing right here to pull to adjust the incline of the seat itself. Alright, lastly, before I end off my video, one thing you should note about driving, in my opinion, you should drive, in my opinion, what should you know about before driving the WRV is, if you were to notice, if the seat you were to raise slightly higher in higher position, you're able to see the hood, which is quite nice. And in my opinion, the hood, being able to see the hood, it reminds me of the Opel Mokka, which I test drove a few years back itself. It has this similar layout where you're able to see the hood itself. Another thing, which is a good thing if you are unable to judge where your front of your car is itself. So yeah. Another thing you should know about it is the mirrors. The mirrors, if let's say you were to adjust it maybe like slightly higher like this itself, you won't be able to see what in my opinion, you can't really see your surrounding better itself. So my best suggestion is to maybe lower it down till you can see your door handle. Then it is more easier to gauge your vehicle itself lah. Same goes for the other side. Even though the other side does come with a smaller mirror at the bottom, I feel it's best to dip your mirror as low as possible itself. Maybe to the extent that you can see your vehicle door handle itself. But and that's basically it for. Oh yeah, before I end off the video, as promised, let me just show you guys the infotainment itself. So infotainment itself, you just got this itself. You got all your shortcut keys on the side and just press on that, and you can just cycle through various functions itself. Unfortunately, the Google Maps not really the best itself. Navigation, yeah, you got that. And in my opinion, this is not really the best, so I don't even bother touching on that. But let me see if I'm able to connect it. I think it should be via this cable right there itself. If you want it connect to the infotainment, your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto itself, or just your simple Bluetooth function for the vehicle itself. So yeah, and that is basically it for this video. If you guys enjoy the video itself, do click the subscribe button down right below to see more videos like this, or click subscribe and click my 2 other videos. And with that, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.